Hi, I'm Ben and I'm the Managing Director of OurVirtualAcademy.com, and I'd like to tell you a bit about what we believe the future of technical training is. Myself as an example, I did my apprenticeship with BMW and at the grand old age of 20 found myself working for Arrow's Formula One team as a gearbox mechanic, a sub-assembly mechanic and a number 2 mechanic. Now both of these jobs were a wonderful introduction into my career in the world of cars. Both how they work and how to fix them. I then became a contractor writing technical training courses where I worked with several well-known brands, including ones originating from the UK, France, Germany and Japan. And then in 2012 it was the time to start my own company. Over the last few years we've been writing courses in China where, out of the blue, requests from our manufacturer customers changed from us needing to produce conventional training courses with PowerPoint presentations and practical worksheets to the production of high-quality technical training videos. You see, dealers globally have been complaining about the costs associated to sending their technicians on training courses, as the costs, when taking into account travel, accommodation, training fees, and most importantly, lost productivity from the workshop, they're big money. Now, of course, these issues are exactly the same in the independent aftermarket too. One of our large clients recently conducted a study on knowledge retention, and they found that the average technician who's been in a classroom for 1 day's worth of training will have forgotten 80% of the knowledge taught after only 3 days. So when you join up the costs of training and the slim benefits associated to knowledge retention, it's no wonder business owners have been questioning the value of face-to-face training. This is where OurVirtualAcademy.com comes into its own. We believe that learning is best conducted through the ethos of little and often. If a garage uses the inevitable quiet periods to develop their team, and just by allowing their team to receive 30 minutes of training every few weeks, by drip feeding knowledge throughout the workforce little and often, it's possible to deliver true continuous professional development without the costs of losing those same technicians out of the workshop. The other beauty of our Virtual Academy is that our videos can be watched time and again. And so, as long as your technician remembers he or she has at least heard something about whatever system they were working on or trying to diagnose, then there's nothing stopping them from being able to revisit our videos whenever they want. We utilise keywords in a big way at OurVirtualAcademy.com. And so, as long as you give us a decent clue about what you want to learn, by entering the keyword into the search box, you'll find all of the content we've got on that topic, enabling them to use the system on demand. Learning when the learner needs it, and not in line with the delivery schedule of the training provider. Okay, so what about the content? Well, I'm sure you don't need me to tell you how many systems there are on modern vehicles, and so essentially the options for what content we produce for our customers is essentially endless. That said, when we began the process of developing content, we had to start somewhere, and we made the decision to start at the single most important subject there is for the modern motor vehicle technician, and that's the essential skills associated to understanding and measuring electricity. Without this truly essential knowledge, how on earth does anyone ever accurately diagnose a car? Well, in my opinion, they don't. They're just using either experience or guesswork. Now, I can't stress it enough, but understanding electrics with a clear mental picture of what it's doing inside wires makes learning about everything else on a car have meaning. Truly understanding electricity means operating a multimeter competently is possible, let alone using an oscilloscope. And let's face it, the scope is rapidly becoming one of the most important tools to any technician serious about diagnosis. Back to our content. We started with electrics and then we decided to cover a broad range of other essential fundamentals such as how inductive pickup sensors work, how MRE sensors work, Hall sensors, the piezo effect. All sensors and all fundamental principles which exist on all cars no matter who makes them. These topics are all knowledge which once again I'd place in the essential basket. We then wrote about control signals such as PWM and multiplexing and how to view signals using an oscilloscope. Next, we decided to broaden the topics we covered. We then started writing about vehicle systems. And we've got topics ranging from high pressure petrol, ABS, air conditioning, common rail diesel diagnostics, and our favourite and specialist subject, hybrid technology. The beauty of hybrid is that once the advanced systems of hybrid are understood, when the motor industry fully commits to the inevitable switch to full electric, any hybrid technician will be very close to a full understanding of the full electrical drivetrain too. Let's face it, they're still very likely to have high voltage DC batteries, battery management systems, an inverter assembly and one or more permanent magnet three-phase motors. Our Virtual Academy is a training solution which simply gets better and better. We aim on average to launch a new chapter every week and a half, and so there's always something new to learn. Our content is in bite-sized pieces and can be watched time and again. Our system not only tracks, measures and monitors the learning performance of you, the subscriber, it also allows you, the manager of a team, to monitor the learning of your whole team. There's a fully integrated learning management solution embedded in too. This creates a full, auditable training log for anyone who wishes to look within your organisation. Therefore, OurVirtualAcademy.com isn't just a very powerful and future-proof staff development tool, it can also perform as a learning management system and a great staff retention tool too. How many times have we heard that training is towards the top of the wish list when it comes to staff retention after all? Learning through Our Virtual Academy generates credits towards IMI CPD. IMI states that 1 hour's worth of learning generates 1 CPD credit. As we have N tests integrated into all of our modules, this doubles the amount of credits available. And so with 1 hour's worth of learning, you will automatically generate 2 CPD credits. Not only that, if you log your CPD on IMI's online register and explain the commercial benefits your business has generated and how the knowledge taught has improved your ability to repair cars, these 2 credits can be multiplied up to a full 8 credits for 1 hour's worth of learning. Now, bearing in mind the IMI recommends 30 credits per year, with less than 4 hours worth of learning through our Virtual Academy, you and your team can complete your full annual requirement. With a single user plan, you will gain access to all of our content, which can be watched as many times as you like throughout the year. And not only that, as we release new content, you'll be able to watch that too, all for no extra charge. If you were to have any of our multi-user licenses, you'd gain access to all of the same content and functions as with the single user plan, but in addition, you will gain access to the management module too. This will give you access to the reporting functions, and so you'll be able to easily track, measure and monitor the learning performance of your team. If you're a large employer, there is also a further tier of reporting functionality. For this to be enabled, you would need to have multiple business locations. We believe it is very important for our users to be able to ask us a question about our content. We know exactly what it's like when you're being trained on something and you just need to ask that one question and then the whole thing makes sense. Happens to us all the time. So for that reason, we have an Ask the Expert function found within support. This allows our users to be able to ask a question which will then wing its way through to our writing team, where we'll do all we can to answer your question. We don't offer workshop technical support, but As long as the question is about one of our chapters, we'll very much do our best to help. Some of our customers utilise OVA when there are quiet periods in the workshop. This is a very efficient way of learning as it protects your business productivity and brings much more benefits than just standing around waiting for a customer to appear. This is an excellent way of gaining all of the benefits associated to learning without the downsides of sending your team off on face-to-face training courses. Alternatively, some of them go down the route of handing out the usernames and passwords to each member of the team and leave them to crack on. They can then learn whenever and wherever they like. In fact, about 40% of our usage takes place in the evenings. This means significant levels of learning take place while our users are not at work. Now, that initially surprised me, but let's face it, techs have been Googling and YouTubing for years, trying to better understand their knowledge, only potentially to find inaccurate information or info with a sales spin. Now, with our Virtual Academy, you can be sure that what is learned is 100% accurate and not linked to some sales pitch about some random diagnostic tool. Okay, so hopefully after all of that, and I know I go on a bit, but hopefully you've now got a fair appreciation as to why we believe we're the future of automotive technical training. Thanks for listening.